each new movement, with each new dynamic, you bounce into a little more resistance. Well, if you understand that each resistance that you move through is going to allow you to expand more and more, then you realize that this is a journey that could be enjoyed, that could be, in fact, instead of it being a struggle, instead of you having to fight against it, is to be able to match your energy to it and go along with the dynamic of the flow of energy. Not allow yourself to be taken off into, what shall we call it, a P. Diddy delusion, you know, well, we had to keep it right. We have to keep it up to date, you know. Well, but again, you know, that's a prime example of a dynamic of the extremes of your reality trying to show you something. All right? We spoke to you about the dynamic of last week in a way that if you look at these sorts of dynamics and realize that the shock factor of them are asking you to make an assessment, are asking you to make a judgment within yourself. Do you, in a way, somehow admire this dynamic of power over? Is this a dynamic that somehow makes you feel like a victim? You know, is this a dynamic that somehow allows you to be angry at the masculine, or angry at the manipulation, or angry at the chauvinism, or angry at the unfairness of it all, or afraid that it's going to happen to you? Because that seems to be the other dynamic, the dynamic of fear that is around it. You know, first they hang out a carrot of greatness, and then they say, okay, all you got to do is, and you say, I'm faced with a moral choice, aren't I? Well, everyone at a certain point in that dynamic made that moral choice, except perhaps for those that might have been underage and involved in that sort of dynamic. But, you know, it's an interesting situation, and it's a reflection of your reality that is offering you a free will choice. It is saying to you, are you inside of yourself? What is the emotion? What is the feeling that it evokes? Is that a dynamic where you want to say, no, I do not wish this to occur? Or is it a dynamic that you just go and say, I just can't believe that people do this? In other words, do you make a moral decision within yourself that you would either allow or not allow this sort of situation in your reality? Would you take it personally in such a way, even though the dynamic might not have happened actually to you, because it happened in the dynamic of your world, because some child or even some adult is being exploited in that sort of way? Do you have empathy? Do you have understanding? Do you have a feeling of caring and compassion, or do you turn it off and just ignore it and let it go? Because there's just as much responsibility when you don't take responsibility as when you do.
So you're saying it's better to make an assessment and make an emotional choice and make a statement.
Every time that something comes into your reality and reflects in your reality that way, each of you, even if you're just turning on the TV and you're the only one there and a dynamic comes up, yes, that's for you.